it. So he's going to come on next week, he said.
Good morning, Facebook. It's 10 a.m. in the UK, in Aberdeen and in Solihull and in Wiltshire, and it's Thursday, and that means it's Blabbing for Britain, episode 160. Okay, let's do the rounds first. Peter.
Yes, hold on.
What happened yesterday?
Well, it was Monday.
Oh, Monday, okay.
So Monday, so usually take Monday off and we go out for a run, and as you know, I'm getting fitter, and it was a lovely sunny day, and midday, and we'd met this woman on the road, and she'd said, "Now what's round about here? It's still a bit icy." So off I went, and I went down this hill, and like the Tour de France people, you know, when they lean into a bend, well, I leaned into a bend, and the next thing I heard was crack on my head, and then I was skidding along the road, and the next thing it was like it was the equivalent of cows looking down at you. You know, when clowns go in a ring and everybody's looking down at you, and I could not move, and eventually we got up, and we travelled quite a long way to get back to my van, and yeah, it's quite a few miles actually, and every bump I hit was going, ooh, ooh. And that was me. So it's a lot of it's people getting messages just now. Very noisy.
I think John's getting messages.
It's
John.
Yeah, it's missing Stephen. Say you won't be here till 10:45.
Okay, yeah, seen that. But yeah, so that was me with a dislocated shoulder. I can't remember, but it's sore enough. I'll tell you that much. I've been up during the night. I can't sleep for it. Can't lay down properly. So not a nice time. Can't drive. So that's me. So today, after this, I'm going to try and do a marathon. I'm going to go on Facebook, and I'm just going to sit there and see who comes in and speaks to me.
Okay.
So that's enough about me.
Good morning to Kelly. All right, and it's over to Solihull.
The weather's lovely.
It is. The sun's shining down here as well. Yeah.
Supposed to get colder over the next couple of days. When I finished here, I got to take Celia into the hospital to have some blood taken for tests, and she's having her operation next Tuesday. So
right.
All hectic in the Upton household. I told you I was full of snotty nose.
Oh yeah.
Cold.
And over to Wiltshire.
The sun's shining in Wiltshire, and it's a glorious day. And I've been struggling today to find anything to talk about because there's only one.
Don't talk too much about Brexit. We'll broken Brexit.
It's the only topic that everybody's talking about.
I'm not going to talk about Burnley's magic win, where all 3 goals are scored by the opposition.
Well, that's going to be a quiz question for many years to come. Which team lost 2-1 and scored all the goals? Yeah. Which brings us on to I did have one title on here, which was Manchester United, who've now won 6 games on the trot, and Burnley in the Premiership are the only ones to be chasing them, because Burnley have won their last 3 on the trot. So perhaps we'll whiz up the table. Who knows? Right. Okay. And it's broken again. And say hello to Mick. Mick Johal.
Oh, that's the guy. Hi, Mick. It's Mick I introduced to this to come in and have a chat. Now, we've never actually met, but Mick travels all over. He's a self-employed consultant, and he travels and lives everywhere where he wants, which I think is fantastic. He lived in Berlin. I think he can speak 3 languages. So, hi Mick, you can type things in if you want, and if you wanted to, you could even get a link to come on camera. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah, and happy belated birthday, Peter, from Canada and Kelly.
Thank you very much. 59. Yeah, I'm not half 59. You know.
Still change out to 60 then.
I know. It just, you know, I live in seasons, you know, and scary, and life just goes so quick. Yeah. So, Mick, just to say, we just talk about anything here to a point, you know.
Yeah, and we've been doing it for quite a while. Episode 160. 1 episode a week, over 3 years, and we're still not finished talking. Okay, we're going to have to go for the topic of the week.
Broken Brexit.
Theresa May pushes for cross-party consensus. Okay, let's do a recap for anybody outside the UK who hasn't got a clue what's going on. Not that we have, as Peter agrees. On Tuesday of this week, there was a vote for our Prime Minister's plans for leaving the EU, and she lost by 432 votes to 203, memory tells me. So in other words, 100 of her own MPs crossed the divide and voted against her. So the plan was voted down, and then the following day we had another vote, and this is becoming a thing at 7 o'clock in the UK. There's a vote in Parliament, and everybody sits on the edge of their seats because they already know what the result is. And she won that vote, a vote of confidence. So at the moment we're stuffed, really, aren't we?
Well, I was interested to see the letter sent by the leader of the Welsh MPs, the leader of the Scottish MPs, the Green Party, and our best friend Vince, that basically said they weren't prepared to negotiate any further until she took a no-deal exit off the table. And similarly, our redundant fella, the red fella, what's his name? Oh, Jeremy. Yeah, Jeremy Corbett also has said the same. So how's she going to get cross-party consensus if none of them will talk to her until she takes something off the table?
Well, if she takes that... Sorry, Peter.
I'll always go back, and you can ask Sheila this. I've always said that one day Theresa May will say, we have spoken to the European Union, and they've said no. We've tried to speak cross-party now. We've tried to negotiate, and everybody's saying no. Therefore, I've got no alternative but to go for a World Trade Organization ruling, and we will make a clean Brexit. And
I don't think she has. If you'll pardon my expression, I don't think she has the balls to do that.
Oh, I don't I mean, even
if she says it, she's still got to get it through Parliament.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go back to the beginning. I always thought whoever voted to leave the European Union, I had no doubt that it meant shouting in the door saying bye and shutting the door and carrying on, and you're out of the club. That's what I always thought I thought it was what it was. There was not really mention of deals or anything. And I keep looking back at David Cameron's speech, and that's what he told the nation would happen.
And then he said he hadn't got the balls to do it, so he quit.
Yeah. he should have carried on, but there you go.
Right,
So,
commenting from Mick saying taking that off the table, taking the option off the table of no Brexit, leaves us in a terrible negotiation position. It can not be taken off the table.
no, they can't take it off the table. They can't do it. And for Jeremy Corbyn to say that, he's finished. He's finished. He really is. After Michael Gove had go to him last night. Wasn't that great? I loved that speech.
I haven't seen that, so.
No, you would look at it. Oh, he's from Aberdeen as well. He's from my part of it. Did you know that? He's from Aberdeen.
Mr. Gove.
Yes.
I think you've told us before.
Okay, so he used to work as a journalist up here, and they can't go. I'll tell you what. If I don't know if they come away with some stupid deal, I don't know what's going to happen to this country.
So, what happens if it goes back to a second referendum, which seems to be quite a preferential thing within Parliament? Will you vote, Pete, or will you ignore it?
Well, I said to Sheila this morning over my bola porridges. I do not think I will ever vote.
Bola porridge.
Just setting the scene.
The Scotsman, the porridge.
That's the conversation. No, I can tell you, my partner's an SNP supporter, you know, and we're sitting there and we're looking at it and we're just talking things over. And I don't think if they don't give the 17 million people what they want, what's the point of voting anymore? And if anybody, I've got 2 councillor friends here, and I've told them, I said, what's the score? You can't treat people like this. You can't. What's Mick saying?
He's not a businessman. In fact, none of them are. They are civil servants. They have civil servants doing the negotiating.
You see, the problem is, guys probably like yourself want to stay. You vote. What a great opportunity. And people like me that might not vote and say,
well, it was so close last time. It doesn't take a lot for it to swing the other way.
And they could have a landslide and say, look, all we believe the stay remains. Look at that. And then people say, we've only got that because we didn't vote. That's why you got it. And
2 of my 3 children didn't vote, and they regret not voting now.
Okay. Now, what ages are they?
Well, they're youngsters, aren't they? They think it's a disaster quitting.
Well, why didn't
they're in the
vote?
20s.
I hope you've taken them over your knee and sorted them out, because people like them.
No,
it's a bit too big for that.
My children are 6 foot odd. I'm only 5 foot something.
I've got to tell you what I won't be so rude, but there was kids up in they were doing a Channel 4 interview. You should look at that, because they got Channel 4, as you know, is a bit biased, I would say. And they got people up north, and all the kids said they were leavers. Jon Snow was basically pooping his pants. But I think a young girl said in one of these shows, she says, I didn't get the chance to vote. No, I 18 now, I could tell you, well, it's your father's fault. He should have got in there with your mum quicker, and then you would have got the vote. Next. I'll let you have a say now.
It's very difficult to know what to say, because it's a right Horlicks at the moment, in that nobody wants the plan. They're saving their own backsides by voting the no confidence vote down. Some people are saying we want it's just so convoluted and so it's a rat's nest, isn't it?
But here's a question, guys. Would you vote?
If it came, yes. And I'll be voting the same way I did the first time.
And so will I.
The Jamila, I don't know if you've seen this in the news. I think her name was Jamila. She was on the Jeremy Vine show. And she says people over 75 should not be allowed to vote. They've had their chance. What do you think of that?
I have a bit of sympathy for that, because they're living in the past. In fact, you could almost say anybody who's over 55 shouldn't vote, because they experienced how it was before, and they hark back to the old days that they think were glorious.
But wait a minute.
My reason for not wanting to leave is I think it's a disastrous thought. That's a disastrous idea.
But wait a minute. So you're telling me you're 75 and you live to 90, you've got your full faculties, and you're not allowed to have the say after paying your taxes?
I just said 55. So, that cancelled 3 of us out.
Now, whilst you were with us, Pete, I agree. You've got a right to vote, and you can't say, right, okay, we're going to have the population that's actually going to vote the right way involved, and everybody else can bugger off. Because the whole thing about democracy is that everybody who is over voting age has a right to vote.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to have wise old owls. Hey, goodbye. What's his name with the Liberals? What's his name? Isn't time he went? He's about 75.
Vince Cable. Yeah. Well,
Goodbye, Mr. Cable. You don't even have no say no according to them. You're a leader of a party. On your bike. Yeah, what about that?
No,
you do amuse me. On your own bike. Oh, no, you can't, Peter.
At least Vince did speak to Mrs. May last night.
Yeah, Vince Cable will do anything to get in there. Hey, children, we will pay your university fees. No problem. We're in now.
Here we go. But mouse is over the mute button, Peter. Careful.
Right, I'll do it as calm as manner. Hello, thank you,
You
children.
finished yet?
No, thank you, children. Thank you for listening.
No.
But your tuition fees, you can forget it.
Where you live, Pete, there aren't any tuition fees.
I know that.
In Wales, there aren't any tuition fees. In Scotland and Wales, there aren't any prescription fees.
I know that. I'm well aware of it. Although,
why haven't we got our own English Parliament so we can vote the same laws in that you guys have?
Yeah, a lot of people say that, and I do feel sorry for you. I don't think Scottish. Well. Anything to do with England, Scottish MPs shouldn't vote. The SNP shouldn't vote.
That's a different story.
And the Labour MPs for Scotland shouldn't vote, and stuff like that. And I totally agree.
Right. Okay. To round this Brexit thing off, have we any idea what's going to happen?
Well, we're not going to have a general election, and I've got a feeling. Just take note of the date, 17th of January. Peter says Theresa May turn around and say, well, we've tried everything. We just have to, now, we've tried everything, and it's going to have to be World Trade Organization. Now,
it won't get through Parliament, so it won't happen.
Wasn't it agreed it would be WTA rules if we're left on the 29th?
Yeah, I mean, that's all we'll be left with.
Where's Gina Miller when you need her, when she's poking her nose into? She should be coming and saying, I might not agree with it, but they're right. 29th, they're going on World Trade Organization.
Right, okay. We're only weeks away. I think we're going to, by default, get a no-deal Brexit. Because I can't see anybody having the cojones to actually seize this and run with it. So we're just going to slide into obscurity for several years.
It's still going to get through Parliament, and I can't see how no deal will get through Parliament.
She could make an executive decision.
That's a good one, Peter. We are not the only country in the world with problems. Donald Trump has ordered 50,000 unpaid workers back to work.
Has he indeed? Ooh.
Yeah, he's told 50,000 of the people who've not been paid since December that they must go back to work. Now, the reason for bringing this story up is that within the next week, well, he wanted $5.7 billion. Yeah.
To build a wall?
to build the wall.
Yeah.
He was given 1.6 billion because that was agreed last year. He's wanted 5.7 billion. By next week, this fiasco will have cost the US taxpayer 5.7 billion.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just stupid, really. He spent the 5.7 billion by not letting everything go as it should.
But you see, if I was Donald Trump, I'd be saying to the nation, I'm sorry this is happening to you, but look at over there. It's the Democrats that are doing this. They will not let us build that wall to stop them coming in. Now, he's right. He said, we give 57 billion away in foreign aid. I would slash that tomorrow morning and then state an emergency and say we're building a wall and we're making sure we look after our own country first. And then we'll maybe go back and give them.
Okay, just going back to the previous topic, Mick doesn't think we'll actually leave, and John and I would raise a glass to that. And I didn't mean they wouldn't get paid ever, Mick. They will get paid eventually, but the fact is that it's actually cost the money it was trying to get.
The Democrats in no way in this earth will give him that wall.
Correct.
And the only way he's going to do it, as he said, says, I think, and there's already some terrorists been caught coming through, I believe. He's going to say, I'm declaring this an emergency, and he'll get it through. He'll be taking advice right now. And if he can get away with declaring that emergency on that border, he'll do it. Because
if he declares the emergency, he's taken straight off the court, because people will say there will be legal challenges to it. So, and we know with legal challenges they can just drag on and drag on and drag on. In the meantime, there are innocent people not being paid. All those have been said, they will get paid eventually. I don't know. Problems all around the world. Is there any way we could go to get away from all this?
Move to Scotland, because they don't matter anyway, do they, Scots?
Right.
I've never seen so much division in countries. Who's that not, Mick? No deal is best, but too many powers at war. Oh, listen, I know that there's going to be something happen that no deal comes in. And I'll tell you something. The country will be even more divided. And some people will never vote again. Never. And I've got a feeling the Conservative Party will be in trouble because they will lose their seats. Because I might even vote Green. Just say, let you give a turn. Come on, Greens. Tell us what you're going to do with the country.
I tell you what, local council-wise, the Greens have done really well round here. And do you know who they've kicked out? Labour.
Is that right? Well, there you go. Let them run the world, as long as they don't make us all become vegans.
Which leads into, you're doing well today, Peter. The diet to save lives, the planet and feed us all. We've all got to stop eating meat. John.
Why?
To save the planet.
Sheila, bring me through my iron tablet.
Cows fart too often, and they're the real cause of global warming.
Yeah.
Is that why we're not going to eat meat?
Let's buy cows' corks.
No, this is a global thing rather than a sort of country thing. In order to save the planet, we all have to cut down and become vegetarian effectively.
I tried it, and
Oh, Pete's frozzed.
Yeah. He'll be back in a minute. His signal, he's coming to and fro.
You have to reboot, Pete, or restart, re-enter, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Drop Peter down into lobby until, all right, okay, definitely gone. So Peter will be back with us in a moment. This is live broadcasting. Anything can happen, usually does. So we wait Peter's return. In the meantime, Mick is saying Chuck Schumer and Nancy both used to support a wall in the southern borders, but they don't want Trump to win. I got from this. I'm taking that Peter and Mick are really good friends because Mick is speaking on Peter's behalf while he's not here.
The thing is, he doesn't want to build a wall either. That's the most incredible thing. It's now a lot of poles.
Right, Peter, are you back?
No, just,
You're a bit
yes,
close.
I'm
That's
back.
better.
Because
Okay.
the thing is, if you look back at all the presidents, and I want this, and look up at Clinton talking about immigration, Obama talking about immigration, saying there's too much coming through at the border, and it needs to be thrown up every sort. This is what the last president said too. They just went rid of Trump, but every American president I've seen has done it, and I don't think it's journalists.
I don't know about you, Stephen, but he's
They
gone
don't like them.
totally for me and stuttering.
You've got to both signal, Peter. We're having problems hearing you.
Refresh.
Yes, please.
Right.
Okay. All good.
I mean, it doesn't. They don't. The U.S. Border Patrol do not want a solid wall. They want something they can see through, because otherwise they're going to have raised towers so they can see people coming. So they want a series of poles that are not wide enough for a human to get through, but can be seen through. So it's not a wall.
Not a wall. A wall, but not a wall. A barrier.
Yes.
To build a barrier along the whole of the border as we try to bring Peter back. Hello again, Peter. No. We've got the picture of Peter saying nothing. Oh, right. Hello.
Are you there, Pete? No.
No, we've got problems, Peter. Yep. Okay. These things happen. These things tend to try us. As I say, it's been very difficult today to actually find anything to talk about which isn't Brexit or wall related. We live in strange times, and we've already done Manchester United and Burnley, so that's that covered.
Lancashire teams.
Yeah, both.
What do you think about Huddersfield and their manager parting company?
I don't know the story, John. So if you want to,
well, he apparently offered it in October to quit because he's tired. They asked him to stay to the end of the season, and then last week they both decided mutually that he would move on.
Yeah.
So, bit of a sad loss, really, because I think he'd perform miracles. But they didn't have the money to invest to stay in Premier League.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not just on the pitch that it counts, is it? It's the ownership.
Yeah. Their total wage bill was less than one Arsenal player's cost. So what can you say?
Well, I don't think Burnley's would be far behind that. I mean, Burnley don't spend a fortune.
Burnley make money by bringing on players and selling them. And Huddersfield haven't got that, and Burnley have been doing that for donkey's years.
Yeah, it's strange though. As soon as Heaton came back in goal and Hart was sort of rested for a while, things seemed to change dramatically.
Yes, well, Joe Hart was the worst buy of 2018, wasn't he?
I think so. I think we've got to agree on that because the Clarets are doing supremely well this season.
So
this year, not that season.
What's your young goalkeeper's name? I can't think of it off the top of my head.
What the next guy in line?
Squad. Who got
the one. Yeah.
Which resulted in Hart being bought. He's got to be getting back round to being usable soon.
Yeah, that would be good. As we say, welcome back to Aberdeen and welcome back to Peter. Peter, hello.
And talking of goalkeepers, did you see that Wolves played West Brom played Boas Myhill in a match the other day?
No.
47 years of age.
Needs must.
Yeah, well, you know,
Okay.
they wanted to rest the goalkeeper for the cup match. So, you know.
All right. Okay. Peter.
Hello.
We can
Right.
see you now. Well, though there's a lot.
You can see and hear you.
Do you live, Stephen? Do you live near GCHQ?
I live closer than you do, Peter.
Yeah.
Well, GCHQ is on the outskirts of Cheltenham and Gloucester, which is further north than
GCHQ sets up all female cyber training classes. So let's talk about all this feminism. Have you seen the Gillette? Have you heard about Gillette this week?
The best a man can
do, but not anymore. They've just done I believe they've just done a Gerald Ratner on themselves. You know, and for those of you who don't know, it's they're basically going against men, really giving us a hard time. And it's caused a big backlash, you know, especially with Piers Morgan. He's using. Yeah,
well, I mean, you know, the sooner he disappears off the face of the earth, we'll all be happy. I'd value anything Piers says with a 0, because he's just an idiot.
Well,
the Gillette people, marketing people, made a bit of a mistake. I don't think it'll be the downfall of the business like Ratner's was.
No, I mean there's only 3 or 4 companies actually in the market, and Gillette will not lose their position. It's simple as.
What I do.
Yeah, we all have to shave. Well, most of us. I didn't correct it to say most of us.
I get these from Lidl's, or is it Aldi's, and I get theirs, and I get a shaving cream that I put on before. And I put that in, and I use an old toothbrush, as you know, and I clean it out, and it'll last forever. And I'm quite a coarse shaver, you know. I go through a lot of razor blades. Just like Gillette, you really got a good shave with them. But that's the way I went.
Mine's a Braun.
Mine's Gillette. So you're one out of 3 people use Gillette.
Dial in 0.5 centimetre and then just whiz it through.
But do you not think this gender and the qualities went too far?
Well, I had an interesting discussion with a lady who organises events, and she does a lot of women only and men only events. And I said to her, why don't you do mixed events? And she said, it's because the men won't open up in front of the women.
Right, okay. In what sort of way?
They won't. I mean, she does happiness and that sort of thing, and how to improve your life and how to make yourself feel better.
Yeah.
And she said that the men won't open up in front of the women, and the women don't say everything they might say in front of each other because they worry about the men taking the piss, to put it bluntly.
That's right, yeah. And I've got to tell you, women take the piss out of them as well, because I see it. So it's very, very. I don't know what the world's coming to. Just don't know. What's that you're eating?
Pasta and cheese sauce.
It's this time of day. Wow.
Haven't you noticed I always eat one of these while we're having this programme? Gives me the energy to finish to the end.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You know, actually, before we come on today, I was thinking, let's look for something happy. It's very hard to find, is it?
I saw a little article that I would put into the happy category this morning. At the railway station in Dudley Port, which is next door to the zoo. You may have heard of Dudley Zoo, but not Dudley Port. Dudley Port was an inland container base. It's not there anymore. It's just a great big open space with some car parks on it now. But at Dudley Port railway station, which is where you get off to go to Dudley Zoo and walk up to the town centre, the road level is up here and the platform level is down here. And on the steps going up, along the edges, they're all sayings, you know, happiness type sayings and things to think about, try and make people feel better. I've actually posted it on my timeline, so you can have a look there. It's quite a good idea.
Yeah, it's good. To cheer me up, I just sit and watch YouTube of the clown going down the escalator, and he pushes a cream pie in a woman's face.
I quite like that one. I gave him. Yeah.
Have you seen how mad she gets? And if you
will
will
get
laugh,
that, Pete, you know.
and the one that really makes me laugh is when the newscasters are talking about the model that's walking along a catwalk and big platforms, but she keeps falling. And if you don't laugh at that, there's something wrong, because I was laughing at them, laughing at her. It's so funny, really funny. If you've never seen that one.
Have you seen the one where they take Ralph Patel to court because his book is 100 Easy Tunes for Guitar book doesn't have any finger positioning?
No.
Okay, well, if you nip over to mine, it's about 2 or 3 days back, which isn't that far because I only do 2 or 3 posts a day. I have to keep watching it. It's so funny.
That right. Ralph McTell.
Well, Ralph McTell's in court, stood behind a grid of bars, and they call all these different witnesses, which are all famous guitarists. It's a good. I mean, it's a long time old. It's not a recent sketch, but I can't stop howling with laughter every time I watch it.
Excuse my pain. No, sitting here. Oh.
Are you itchy?
No, it's not itchy. I'm in pain, actually, you know.
Are you in pain? So what have you actually done to your arm?
Oh, I can't. It's actually here, right?
Oh, right.
And it's something's disjointed. And when I got it done in a hospital, Sheila was, and the woman pressed it to see if it was the right bit. And I just remember screaming.
Well, you've got your own mini National Health Service at your house, haven't you?
And you know how hard that are? She must think she's treating real patients, so I don't have the time for that.
Oh, dear. You don't get any special treatment then, Pete?
No, I've got to say, she's set me up today here in the city, and she's moved things for me, given me coffee, done my tablets, even helped me. I can't even get dressed properly. She's been really...
Well, we saw yesterday you couldn't get dressed properly with a shirt wide open and the hairy belly hanging out.
Was it a fine sight?
I was looking for the brown paper bag. It was that bad.
Somebody says, it was my birthday yesterday, and somebody says, that's why you never went to BNI. And I sent over the picture. I goes, no, here's why I'm not at BNI today.
Did you see the post I made on your bike post?
Remind me what it was again. I think I did.
You posted that, you know, should I bother carrying on, etc. And mine is the very last post on there.
I remember it now.
And it says, carry on riding, Pete. And then there's a picture of stabilizers for a bike with 26-inch wheels.
It's actually given me a scare because I really enjoyed the cycling, but it was sore. It has scared me.
You mustn't stop, Pete, because you put so much effort into it.
Oh, well, do you ever remember I sat here and I actually went on Facebook Live, and there was a guy called John Bell, and he gave me a hard time about cycling, you know. And I said, I wear this and I wear that yellow, and if you can't see that, you need to go to Specsavers. Well, I was up a big hill the other day, and somebody passed me in their car and shouted up, you're doing well, Peter. Keep digging. I didn't know who it was.
You don't know who it was.
I didn't know who it was. And then it was him, Stewart Bell's his name, sorry. And he come on and he says, "Oh, you were looking really strong going up that hill." That was on Monday. So it was quite
Excuse me.
So I didn't know him before, and I just spoke to him on the internet, and I was on saying, "Who's that?" But he's on a bike now, which is great. But it used to be a really horrible hill. Horrible hill. But right up there on the front now. Strength it's got in me now is great. Love it. How about first time? What time is it?
It's 20 to the hour. I mean, I know you both soldiers in here today. If you want to finish early, then we can. I think we should.
Oh no, it's okay. I'll find something to argue about. John, we can't hear you now.
You can't hear me?
Oh no, John, we can't. He's speaking.
All right. Okay, we can hear John now. It was a spluttering, John. I just turned your sound off for a minute.
Oh, okay. I basically said that let's not go. Mr. Lord Red will be here and we can get the Labour view on Brexit in a couple of minutes.
All right, okay.
Is Mick still here? Mick, if you're still here.
I don't think so.
No.
I think we've only got 2 people in at the moment.
He's got a great life. He just every so often I see him, and then you'll be in Dublin, then he lived in Birmingham, then he went here, then he went there. Worked from anywhere, which is great.
Yeah, I'm going to Dublin this weekend on
Yeah.
Sunday. Yeah,
Facebook.
there's Facebook Gather, which is
Oh, yeah.
250 businesses from throughout Europe and the UK, and we're all going over for a 3-day conference paid by Facebook. All expenses paid, flights, hotel, everything is paid by Facebook.
Wow.
And we're going to learn what Facebook are going to do in 2019, and it's going to be a fantastic weekend. And,
so you and Mike are going to come back and give us all the inside info.
Well, I think it's spooky that Mike and I, well, Mike, John and I have known each other for 13 years now. And of the people who are actually going to Dublin, Mike and I are going. So it's just very coincidental, I suppose, or spooky, or depending on what you want to call it.
What does Mike do?
It's a social media wizard, I'll call him.
Indeed. He's down in Plymouth. He started a group called the 6 O'Clock Club, which meets in the real world at 6 o'clock in Plymouth and in London. He's been doing that for the last 5 years, and it's very successful. Real world meetups, encouraging local businesses in Plymouth. And he's built a Facebook group which has got a very active membership, and he is
got a couple of
social
morning
media
as well.
Yeah, he's always just started the 6 in the morning thing, hasn't he?
I know that he's had a couple of them for a while, because I actually went and met him in Plymouth 3 years ago. So he's like you, Pete. He had a heart scare, and he looks a lot healthier than he did a few years back.
Very good. Glad to hear it. Well, it's a second chance of life. It's a new engine, you know, and that's why I'm trying to keep fit, to give something back. And this is what's happening to me. Do you know I fell off my bike 7 times? 4 in the last 2 weeks, just for different reasons. You know?
You've got to stop taking the whiskey with the tea. I know you don't drink. I know.
No, I know. Yeah, are you going to continue cycling, Pete?
Yes, but I'm not going to be so. I'm going to be more. It's not. I'm not a reckless person. It's just that I can build up, in my view, a little bit of speed, going up hills, going down hills. And I done what normal people do. You would lean into the corner, but the corner was covered in ice that you couldn't see. It was black ice, and even though the sun had been out shining, and No, I am, and I am going to take it a bit. I am worried
Sorry.
because pain hurts.
Yeah.
Pain. I don't like pain. But as you know, it's kept me trim. Just I've never enjoyed something so much. In all honesty, I've really enjoyed it. Really,
But
really
you've stopped your vegetarianism now, though, haven't you?
Well, I got new iron tablets, and what a difference they made to me. They've really given me some power. I can feel it. So yeah, so sorry vegetarians, I tried it. It didn't work for me.
It was that big glorious steak down the pub. That's the problem.
No, it wasn't. No, it's not that. I actually, when I see animals and that, I feel sorry for them. You know, because I quite like animals, and you go, ooh. But there you go. There you go.
That's the exterminator saying that he likes animals.
You'll find that a lot of the pest control guys absolutely love animals. Love animals, and it's just when they become a pest. That's all. You know? So yeah, I was actually going to go out running on Monday night with Jog Scotland, and
Right.
they get you from couch to 5k, which I've already done 3 times a week. But and my feet were getting better because I got plantar fasciitis. But on Monday, that was the end to that too. I just want to be fit. Just want to be fit again, you know. And
Yeah, I mean,
as well.
there will never be another Sarsen Trail, which I used to do. 26 miles, 385 yards. They've stopped that. The MOD have said you can't cross our land anymore. So I'm looking for an alternate, and there's a 10k in Newbury in May. So I've got an app on my Android phone which is trained for a 10k, and I start doing that hopefully not next week, the week after, and I'm going to do my second ever 10k in May in Newbury. And the young man who sort of does it with me, who's Angelica's daughter's boyfriend, I got that right, he's sort of in his 30s, so he slows down and I try and speed up, and between us we got around the course last time, but I'm going to try and do a better time this year.
Going back to your Dublin event.
Top of the locks and back as training. That must be a good train, going to the top of the locks and back.
It is. It's actually that's about 6 miles if you do it properly. And I was out there yesterday with my phone, and I did some recording for I Live Here, and that was just walking along the canal. But the canal's a great place to train because apart from the locks, it's pretty flat. So I should be out and about over the next couple of months, see what we can do.
Stephen, see, going back to the Dublin, how did Facebook pick you then? Where did they find you? Is it because you've been doing your live streaming on there?
Nope, nothing to do with live streaming, nothing to do with Be Live, nothing to do with anything like that. They started a private secret group for business owners, and they had a meetup in London last year, which I couldn't get to. So they've selected business owners who are active on Facebook, and that's how myself and Mike got in. And basically, it's a very select group. There's 190 people in the group at the moment. It's been running for 9 months, and it's just I don't know how they did the selection. I said, can I add people to the group? And they said no. They were very polite, but they just said, we decide who's in here. So it's just right place, right time, Peter. That's it, really. I'm just grateful to actually be there and to find out what's going on, and I will report back. Yeah.
Well, are they going to give you a special badge to put on your profile?
You never know. I don't know.
Partner.
No, there's nothing. It's just you just get an inside track into. We know before Facebook release features, we know what they are. We get to try them out, so we're always sort of one step ahead. We get the information that Maurice Smith gets. Let's put it that way. and she makes a living out of telling everybody about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a Scot, Peter.
Find
Well,
her hard work.
She's actually Canadian. She's
Sorry?
not Scottish. She's Canadian.
No, her parents emigrated to Canada.
Yeah,
Isn't
well,
that right?
but she's not born in
She's
Scotland.
not real Scot. Okay.
Yeah.
I think she's hard work, but you know, we all have our different views.
I think she does a good job of getting the message across in English, in a way that we can all understand. And more power to her, and to Molly Mahoney, and if we mentioning people, to Jeff Adams and to Owen Video. A lot of good people involved in my video.
Well, just to let you know what I think I'm going to do today. I'm just going to go on Facebook all day.
You're not going to do the ironing then, Pete?
No, I'm writing. Well, it's what I'm left-handed for writing, but when I use the iron,
That was a solihull sense of humour, Pete.
was it?
Yeah. Definitely.
But I do iron. In fact, I bought gadgets for my iron, for putting over my iron to stop it burning things and stuff. I love my iron. That shocked you, did it?
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I have invested in for the trip to Dublin is a power bank, so that I can recharge my phone quickly, and I'm going to take a few videos while I'm over there, and some photographs as well.
Yeah.
And Kelly did suggest the other day that I actually go and visit the Blarney Stone, but then we discovered it's 3.5 hours away from Dublin, which makes it a bit difficult.
Much better to visit St James's Brewery. Much better trip.
What do they make there, John?
Blonde. They do. They make Blonde, which is their lager. They also make Guinness, of course. But
they also make Guinness
as well.
Homage to Guinness. Guinness is a drink that I can drink anytime, anywhere, as you know, John.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to visit the home of Guinness on Tuesday will be good.
How long were you there?
Fly out Sunday from Bristol, and then there's a welcome party on the Sunday evening, and then Monday is full of seminars throughout the day with a meal in the evening, and then we fly back on Tuesday.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it's the actual conference itself is one day.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, and the Chief Operations Officer of Facebook is going to give the keynote speech. So it's good. It's good. Right. Okay. Well, in the absence of the fourth member of
should we send a party out for him?
He's on the road. He said, "I'm on the road today. Can't make it to the full show, and we'll pop in around 10:45." Well, here we are at 10:53. 3 and a bit. Yeah.
So
I don't know. So Peter, you're just going to sit there, drink coffee. Have you got your Costa cup to hand? You know, so you can keep advertising every time you go live today.
Yeah, mate. But I'll tell you what, it's a blooming heavy cup. That Costa cup. It's a big, horrible thing. But no, what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit on here, right, and just see who comes in. Just see who comes in throughout the day, just as a little experiment, and you see people coming in and going, saying, "Oh, he's boring." You know, it's very lonely when they don't ask you questions and things like that. You know,
broadcasting on your own, you tend to go off the tangent. You start with a topic, and then you go off, and you can just enjoy yourself talking. But eventually, well, I'd be interested to see what happens, Peter. Because the longer you broadcast, the more people will see it, and providing you put your your Aberkill advert up at the bottom of the screen every so often, then it could be a very worthwhile exercise.
Well, But what
You can invite people to ask you questions about your business. You know,
yeah, well,
how do I get rid of a wasp's nest? You know,
Yeah.
well, don't do it yourself. Call me. You know, but
yeah. What I'm going to do so is do it. Well, 'cause I don't have my laptop. I'm going to do it live on here, live on Facebook, not on what do you call it? This what we use now. I'm just going to
Be live.
be live. Yeah, yeah. No, you're just gonna go Facebook live.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go Facebook live, and now I'm going. I'm just going to sit there and have a chat with people. And what happened yesterday? It's funny because being off, and there was a couple of people actually got in touch with me who I didn't expect. One came around and had a coffee, and another guy, when he found out, he phoned me to see if I was okay and everything. I thought, well, that was good of you. Thank you very much. You know, because everybody's so busy, but they took time out to think about me. And yeah, because it can get very lonely sitting here when Sheila's not speaking to you. You know, even if she's in her house and the dog looks at you and says, "I'm off."
You can still walk the dog, can't you?
John, I can hardly walk.
Oh, right. I didn't realise it would have affected your walking as well.
So my right leg, you know, it's stiffening up.
All right.
That's hanging down.
Because in what you've said, you haven't mentioned anything other than your arm. That's why I didn't realise your leg was giving you problems as well.
And my right shoulder's, when I take off the sling, it just hangs down. So I just feel miserable. I was up all night as well, you know. So I just absolutely.
Because you've got that nice countryside just behind where you live, haven't you? So
that's right. We just walk out into the country, you know. And so
you're right on the edge of town, aren't you?
We're right on the edge, on top of a hill. Unfortunately, with the bike we go home, it's at the top of a hill, which is no problem now, by the way. But we've had a fair bit of snow here today. Yeah. And during the night, do you know what's great during the night? It was absolutely lashing, and it was like sleet, and it was windy, and it's actually great to go and look at that and just watch it for a while, you know. And just thought, wow, what a world we live in, you know. And everybody's sleeping.
Keep it up there, Pete. We don't want it.
Yeah. But there you go, guys.
All right. Okay.
I think we're at the end, aren't we?
Yeah,
no
my final thought is Brexit is a situation where everyone loses. So from Wiltshire in England, it's goodbye, and it's over to John, and I wish a quick recovery to both John and Peter.
Thank you very much. I've not got quite the problems that poor old Peter's got, because he's a physical, mine's just a bloody block nose. So I guess it's my turn to say goodbye. Then on the other end, I think it's always my turn to say goodbye at the end. So it's goodbye from Wiltshire, which is down there somewhere, although to me he appears up there. And it's goodbye to Scotland, which is right up there, but he appears up over there to me. And we wish everybody a great time. We have absolutely no idea when it's going to go with Brexit, so we look forward to next week when we might know a bit more. It's goodbye from now.
Goodbye.
And all those things that German people say. Bye.
Tschüss.
Tschüss.